So here's a thought experiment. If you grew up prior to the 1800s or whenever abolitionism started for slavery, you would probably not see anything wrong with it. In principle, you wouldn't want to be a slave, but you wouldn't be an abolitionist, most likely. Now, is it too far-fetched that some moral standards that are actually just as important go the other way, and we forget that it was wrong? This is what has happened to the jury system in Norway. People growing up now don't realize that you're supposed to have a jury. And those of us who remember juries don't fight to restore it either, except me. So it's a situation where activism is sorely needed. Or else we end up with slavery restored. Because this is what it is. We are slaves to the state without the juries. We don't have protection against tyranny. That was our safety valve against tyranny. If you don't believe that, then I can illustrate that with another thought experiment. Let's say, for example, you go back to World War II and you imagine the Nazis putting resistance fighters on trial and wanting to condemn them to death. And they control the laws, right, since they occupied the country. But let's just say they believe in juries. It's unrealistic, but it's what a jury would do in theory, right? So let's just say these Nazis put these resistance fighters on trial and want to sentence them to death for patriotic activities, which are now defined as a capital crime. But they respect juries, so they put some random juries of your peers in that courtroom. And I guarantee you that that jury is not going to convict, right? So that's the idealized function of a jury. It protects you against tyranny, no matter how tyrannical the government is. The government can be Nazis, but if they respect juries, then you would be safe. They can't convict you of anything. That's how important juries are. And we have lost that now. All because we wanted to pander to feminism. All because we wanted to make it easier to convict for so-called rape. You see what we have lost now? Think about that thought experiment and realize that's what's going on in every jury, just in a less extreme variant. Because it's a more subtle disagreement with the law that the jury might use to acquit than what a jury of your peers would do in an occupied country if you're a resistance fighter. But the moral principle is the same. Think about that.